Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Dan Jester, and I am joined, as always, by Rob Fox and Jake Goldman. What's up, boys?
Hello. I'm back, baby.
You look nice and tan.
Yeah, I was in a sunny place. I was in the Keys.
This place is a sunny place.
This place it's fun going from like 98, heat index 104 in the Keys with like 100% humidity to heat index 108, almost no humidity.
I just want to kill myself.
Just like being inside of a toaster oven right
It's
now.
fucking terrible.
Between your tan, your facial hair currently with the mustache,
Yeah.
and your outfit, you kind of look like Ron McGill,
Who's that again?
the Miami Zoo guy.
You are all khaki with the you do look like you work at a fucking zoo right now. So subscribe to us on YouTube for
Actually, that was totally intentional. I kind of love the like park ranger zoo guy.
It's a great look.
Yeah,
that's the best uniform.
It's so laid back feeling. It's all like light and airy and vented too for heat.
I mean, it's, crocodile hunter.
Yeah, no, I was just from the land of. They have crocodiles in the Keys too, by the way.
Saltwater crocs?
Yeah,
those are the deadliest ones.
They have North American crocodiles. These are actually a little bit more docile though.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not like South American crocodiles.
Or they're in Mexico, saltwater crocs. Those are the ones that, and in Central America, those are the ones that will rip you to fucking shreds. Like an alligator will kill you by dragging you under and maybe eat like your hand or something like that. A saltwater croc will rip you limb from fucking limb. They are the ones you don't want to deal with. There was like a story of some kid in Guatemala who was just playing in a river.
He was doomed from that start.
Yep, yeah. And the
Being
croc,
born in Guatemala, yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes, yeah. The croc just popped up, bit his head, rolled, ripped his head right off in front of his parents, and
holy shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like a scene out of Jurassic Park. Actually, saltwater crocs were the ones from the Japanese episode I did, where they're stuck in the swamp in Asia. But they're in like Mexico.
Jake, again,
and
not
shit
here
too.
for that episode.
I wasn't. Yeah, I've taken a lot of vacation.
Oh, that would have been a good ep for you to be on.
You've taken the most vacation.
I'm fine with that.
Was that Jared?
No, it's Boosh.
Okay.
Oh man. Head right off, huh? Yeah, alligators, I guess, are more the slow cookers of the animal world. They just take you down, decompose you, then eat you a little bit at a time, snack on you.
I think they just swallow you whole a lot of times.
No, they let you rot.
Okay.
Alligators are so docile that we would just paddleboard on campus in lakes full of alligators.
Yeah, it's really not that big of a deal during the daytime.
Especially if they're fed
That
well.
one lady who got eaten by an alligator, it was the middle of the day when she was walking her dog next to the water.
Well, it's fucking dumb of her, wasn't it? She brought bait.
Yeah, and it
Stupid
dragged her
ass.
under.
Yeah, she was
Have you
like
heard that?
80, though,
Yeah.
and she was kind of on a decline hill.
Yeah. A hill
I think she
going down
rolled
into
her
the water.
ankle. At one
Yeah,
point.
to be honest with you, gravity.
Why was she
probably got her
wearing
more than
wedges
anything.
at that age? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah,
There was a lot of questions there.
that was weird. That was a weird part of that story.
Kind of a good transition here.
Oh, yes.
Great.
By the way, Patreon, though.
Yeah, patreon.com/softcorehistory. 2 additional episodes every week. I actually uploaded the first episode of Spare Bedroom today. Just why not?
Did you?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Just a little bonus content.
Just give them everything. You know, fuck it.
I mean, 2 people have mentioned it in
Just
the
for
Discord.
context for people, because we mention it quite often.
I guess we do. It's a thing we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing we did in 2019. Put out the first episode today. Also, you get a brand new episode just like this that we will drop on Wednesday. And then we have an episode that's either a voicemail episode or a watch along on Fridays.
No, y'all did voicemails this week too.
We
right?
did, yeah.
Okay.
Had some good ones.
So again, patreon.com/softcorehistory.
We're still logged into your personal Gmail.
Perfect. That's
I logged
great.
you out, don't worry.
Thank you.
Gmail's weird though, where you have to log everyone out.
It's really annoying.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we did it at a public library.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I was kind of hoping you just did it at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, on their Wi-Fi. Yeah. No one's getting
we just
hacked
kept
there.
looking up why Ted Kaczynski was right.
So you found the auto search already?
Mm-hmm.
That I
Yeah, like that wasn't on there.
Yeah, that was just fucking first thing. It's
He's on a
bookmarked.
fucking newsletter. Gets his Gmail every day.
The TED.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my TED Talk.
Manifesto.
This was the
2.0.
original TED Talk.
The original TED Talk was pretty
Was Ted
spicy.
Kaczynski's, fucking, not memorandum. What do you
Yeah, he
call it?
died when I was on vacation, dude.
Hung himself.
What a downer.
So
I didn't know he killed himself.
Yeah.
No, Ted.
Well, allegedly, right?
Yeah. Just like Epstein, right?
Kaczynski didn't kill himself. We'll just make those shirts.
Yeah, those will be out by
In
Monday.
an hour?
Yeah, yeah. Kaczynski didn't kill himself. Just get ready for that.
Yeah, we're
Like,
making
literally
it.
that printed
We'll
up.
probably put some ads
Just
behind it.
literally spoof the Epstein one.
We've already printed Ted K shirts. Anyway,
Yeah, if you want Ted Kaczynski merch, check out softcorehistory.com. Look for the
get them while they're hot.
The Unity. Love the blurb on that. Don't mail in your outfit. Be a blast at the party with this one.
We also have those hoodies as well.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about an adventurer.
Ooh.
I like adventures. And he's dressed like an adventurer.
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
came out of my mouth so flamboyantly. Ooh. An adventurer. Tell me more.
Specifically, it was obviously this was like a big thing back in like the 20s and 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
totally.
much so that the most famous adventurer movie, Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm. And Indiana Jones was based on all sorts of like pulpy serials from before that about the same type of adventurer.
Yeah, like Scout magazines and stuff had
Yeah.
like these adventure comics and stuff.
It's
in them.
literally, it's
Yeah.
like, listen to the adventure, or like radio plays. Listen to the adventures of Montana Smith
Yeah.
as he fights off, like there weren't Nazis yet because it was literally the 30s.
Yeah.
It was from the 30s. It was, Indiana Jones is based on stuff from the 30s.
So
it's like,
Indiana Jones is based on this dude I'm about to do today.
sweet.
Awesome.
I love it. Did you know that that movie Indiana Jones only came about because Spielberg wanted to direct a Bond movie, and the Bond people were like, "Fuck off, Steven Spielberg." And this was post Jaws.
That's
and
good.
everything.
That's good. I'm glad they stuck to that. It's like, you little dream-making bitch.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. You're too saccharine.
Wait, George Lucas didn't do Indiana Jones,
He created it.
and then Spielberg directed.
Yeah, I don't even think George Lucas wrote it. I think he just came up with the
Came up with
character
the IP.
and the story. Yeah, it's after the first Star Wars, he was like, I only do IP. So he's just like, okay, like a alien that's got 9 heads. You write it.
That's the golden age of creative right there.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm the idea guy.
I'm a big picture guy. Yeah.
Which is just like, here's a napkin I wrote a movie idea on. Can I have
Go,
$1 million?
do it. Go do it. Yeah, he
Thanks.
gives it to Lawrence Kasdan, and he's like, you write it.
Yeah.
You're better at this than me.
But of course, today we're talking about Roy Chapman Andrews. Now, Lucas never specifically said that Indiana Jones is based off this man, but all signs point to it.
Okay.
Our guy was born in Wisconsin in 1884. As a child, he was an avid explorer of local forests and waterways.
So he's a kid.
What?
He's a kid.
Yeah.
He's an avid explorer. He's a kid. There's nothing to
Wandered
do.
around.
Yeah.
In his autobiography, Under a Lucky Star, Andrews describes himself like a rabbit, happy only when he could run outdoors.
Fair enough. I mean, not every kid was like that.
No,
I guess
there's
like
inside
an
kids.
iron lung kid or some kid who had the fever for
There's-
like 100 years. You know what I mean?
There's two options. You can either break all your bones climbing trees in
Yeah.
the 1880s, or you could be in an iron lung as a kid. There is no middle.
Yeah, well,
There's no
I'm
just
not-
inside kid.
Yeah, it's just like a kid that's constantly, like the little kid in The Secret Garden who's just in the bed the entire thing. And he's like, get out!
Yeah.
I'm the rich boy. I'm Colin. Like, that's who you are. You're either that kid
Yeah.
or you're an adventurous kid.
Oh, Secret Garden. I haven't seen that in so long.
When he turned 9, Andrews received a little single-barrel shotgun.
Well, it's about time.
And as he grew up, he became a skilled marksman.
I actually,
With a shotgun?
yeah, you can be a marksman with a shotgun.
I guess.
Shooting
clays.
clays. Dude, I actually got to shoot a youth, like, intended for like a 10-year-old single barrel shotgun when I was shooting clays the other day. It was amazing. Just hold it one-handed. It's like
Sick.
it's like terrifying because you know it's gonna kick back.
Yeah.
But like, there's no way to just get on top of it. And,
Right.
like, hold
So
it.
it's basically like a sawed-off?
It's as short of a barrel as you can get.
Yeah.
I piped dude. I demolished a clay with it. It like exploded into a million pieces. It was
That's
awesome.
funny.
Yeah.
He later taught himself taxidermy and used the skill to earn money for his education at Beloit College.
That's a really fucked up thing to teach yourself. The amount of trial and error you have to have with dead animals, with small dead animals
For taxidermy.
for taxidermy. Like, you don't just get it right on the 3rd try.
No. I doubt you get it right on the 10th try.
Right.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking squirrels and rabbits and shit that this dude was just gutting.
I mean, the problem was he didn't even realize they had to be dead at first. He just started.
He's like, well, the best way to actually make them look alive is to begin the process while they are alive.
Yeah, kind of lock in their terrified faces into a permanent scowl.
Well, you want the eyes wide.
Really wide. Yeah, you can't do that in post.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not a lot you can fix and post with taxidermy.
No.
More so than a morgue.
What do you mean?
Like, nobody really cares if you fuck up an animal.
Well, yeah, true.
But you fuck up somebody's dead relative.
That's
They're not
another
happy.
thing. That's another thing that's really hard to self-teach is mortician.
Yeah.
Embalming.
Yeah. Not easy.
Dude, I just put a bunch of Fanta in them. Like, I don't know.
That'll preserve it. That'll bring back to life.
You just got to be really good at makeup.
Yeah. That's where all the esthetician jobs go.
I hate that one of the first thoughts I had when I went in high school to my friend's funeral who shot herself in the head was, can't even tell.
That's actually really good work.
Yeah. I was like, literally, I was like,
Oh, open casket.
yeah.
Wow.
I was
That's
like,
bold.
I was
That-
like,
yeah.
I like walked up and I was like, oh my God, it's nobody. And I walked up and I was like, okay, that looks like Alexis. Yeah.
Did she use like a little 22 or something?
I didn't ask her mom.
Yeah, man, I don't think you'd fish for details on that one.
Yeah.
That's such a Curb episode. Who did?
This is
who-
great.
Yeah.
This
Can
is
I get their
great work.
card?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I like really, it really took me out of the moment out of my sadness because I was just like,
It's like, did she shoot
this
herself
is fantastic.
in the head?
Yikes.
The day got worse. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it
The
did.
day got much sadder. But
Yeah.
that moment, I was just like, kudos
I mean-
to the chef.
Yeah. Compliments.
Yeah, compliments to the chef.
Sometimes you just got to tip your cap, even in the worst circumstances.
Yeah.
When he was 21, Andrews was duck hunting on Wisconsin's Rock River with Montague White, a member of Beloit's college English department. It was a cold March day, and the river had been rising steadily and held strong with dangerous currents. Andrew and White's boat was rocked, and they were thrown overboard into the frigid river. Andrews was swept away by the current and struggled to swim towards shore. He managed to reach a submerged tree and finally solid ground, but his friend was not so lucky. White, plagued by muscle cramps, had not made it to the bank, despite being a strong swimmer. This incident made a lasting impact on Andrews and seemed to set a precedent for his future, both in his additional brushes with death and his attention to detail for safety in his field work.
So, wait, he fell in the water and immediately was just like cramped up because it was so cold.
His buddy did.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the dude who died.
He got swept
Montauk.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Yikes. That sucks. Not a
He
fun
didn't
way
do
to-
enough ice baths.
Seems like it.
Yeah, if you did Wim Hof once, you'd be fine.
Little cold plunge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just breathe, dude.
Totally changes my life. I do them every morning.
Yeah, you make a little
You gotta
tub for
shock
yourself.
the system. That's the key.
Yeah. No, I turn the shower as hot as possible, sit on the little bench in my shower, and just slowly tug on my wiener.
And then your
It's like-
dog licks it up.
Well, that's later, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like they're waiting.
It's just at the glass door, paw on the door, just
Yeah.
like Midnight Expressing
Just
it.
scratching
Oh,
it, just
Bobby.
I believe that's a
scratching at it.
Patreon episode.
Yeah.
Go ahead and listen to that.
Yeah.
Talking about how
For more context.
No. Rob's dog just licks Rob's cum. That's all you need.
Yeah, you can listen to the Patreon to get more explanation. I'm not going to explain it to you because you didn't pay to find out.
Yeah, way to fucking spoiler alert it.
But they have to find out how and why.
How?
Mhm,
Yeah, there's a whole setup.
After graduating college in 1906, Andrews hopped on a train to New York City to pursue another thing he always wanted since he was a boy.
Showmanship, Broadway, the theater.
Horse.
Job at the American Museum of Natural History.
Well, yeah, he loves taxidermy,
Yeah.
which is, I've said this before on the show, but it's so fucked up to me that like people weren't able to see animals, so just the dead ones would have to do. If you go to the fucking museum, the one Teddy Roosevelt found
It
or
like
whatever.
blew their minds. Too.
Yeah, it's just shitty stuffed dead animals that are like 100 years old. Like I walked through it and I was like, this sucks ass. This is the worst.
That's why I kind of buy the freak shows.
Yeah.
Not
nothing-
necessarily that they were legitimate freaks, but you could fool people very easily.
I mean,
Oh God, yes.
I'm sorry. What do you think TLC is? Like, that's just Freak Show Network.
It is the
Yeah.
Freak Show Network.
Yeah. It's like, 19 kids and counting or whatever. It's a Freak Show.
Yeah.
That's not. No one's watching
the
that.
amazing
They'll put
woman,
anything
the
on
amazing
TLC.
wide vaginaed woman. Like
Yeah,
it's
just like, there are conjoined twins at the top, but one body on the bottom.
TLC has no shame.
No.
none.
It's dude. Discover is like one of the largest It's the largest media network now.
I genuinely think like Pornhub has more shame than TLC. Like Pornhub has more ethics than TLC.
1,000%.
There's none.
Yeah.
There's none.
Like TLC is in the red on ethics. Like Pornhub is a vacuum, right? It's a 0.
Yeah, they're trying to reduce exploitation, whereas TLC is just
TLC
exploitation.
is exploitation.
Yeah.
It's like 800-pound sisters. I think they just like pay people to date them.
Or the tiny girl that looks like a 12-year-old, but she's like 28.
And is like dating
That's
some
the whole
guy,
joke, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
And she sounds like a child.
yeah. It's like, bro. But, I mean, she deserves love too, I guess.
But then
But
they throw
then
in
they're
like a
okay,
sex
hold on,
shop.
let's go. You guys are gonna go out to lunch, and you're gonna kiss on this patio, French, really hard,
like, make it
and we're
out.
gonna.
It's worse than that, Rob. They're like, hey, we're going to go look at dildos.
That's got to be so uncomfortable for the fucking sex shop worker who probably sees so many things, but it's just
so many things.
But it's like, dude, come on.
Can
Yeah.
I have some identification, ma'am?
Have you seen this episode?
There's commercials that somehow...
Oh, so they advertise with that part. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
It's just basically just like watch a fucking 9-year-old shop for dildos, but don't worry, she's actually 28.
So you're fine. Trust us. God.
We're loophole TV.
Yeah. Just the loophole channel is what TLC stands for. Oh, man.
When Andrews reached the museum, however, he was told that there were no jobs available. Refusing to be discouraged, Andrew volunteered to scrub the museum floors. So he kind of became the Goodwill Hunting of the Natural Museum or the American Museum of Natural History.
You leave a squirrel taxidermied by the chalkboard. Who did this? The janitor did it?
This is perfect. The best squirrel I've ever seen.
I didn't think we could taxidermy a platypus, but here it is. He's the Goodwill Hunting of the fucking taxidermy spot.
He's got some preserved apples. He's like, how do you like them apples?
They're perfectly intact.
Yeah, they're
pretty
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Like, don't eat them. They're full of formaldehyde.
Yeah, it's not edible.
He was hired to clean and perform basic assistant duties in the taxidermy department, as well as help the director of the museum with odd jobs when asked. So if some rats got into the ventilation system, he would have to go up there and poke around.
Kill them, stuff them.
Leave him by the chalkboard.
Yeah.
Here's the system.
So he was just the guy's personal assistant for a while, basically.
He was janitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janitor / personal assistant.
To the museum.
Andrews quickly moved up the ranks and, despite several better offers throughout his entire career, stayed on with the museum.
That's cool. Loyal.
Yeah. He hasn't done any Indiana Jones shit yet.
Yeah, so far you're telling us about a janitor.
But I guess, Indiana Jones at some point did have to get his doctorate, right?
Yeah.
It's Dr. Jones.
It is Dr. Jones.
So there's like a young Indiana Jones season where he just gets his doctorate.
Yeah. It's really
Nothing
boring.
cool happens.
It's like
He got
the
tossed off a boat. Saw his friend die.
so it's the opening to a very boring medical show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrews' first major interest in the field was marine mammals, specifically whales.
Ooh.
The fascination began when, after only being at the museum for 7 months, he and colleague Jim Clark were assigned to retrieve the skeleton of a dead whale from a Long Island beach.
That's gotta stink.
How long was it actually the skeleton or was it the corpse?
It's a skeleton.
Okay,
so
so it'd been cooked already.
Okay.
the director instructed Clark and Andrews retrieve every bone, but never believed they could because of how quickly the bones of beach whales sink into the sand.
Get a shovel. What do you?
Did they invent archaeology that day? Like, what the fuck?
Andrews and Clark returned to the museum with the entire whale skeleton.
Damn! What a like. That's like a great scene from the movie, right? It's like you'll never get the skeleton. Cut to them triumphantly driving on a flatbed with the skeleton on the back.
Yeah, just like the boys are back in town, or no, Bad Company, Bad Company, and they're in the fucking car, and it's got that's cool.
They guarded it from a storm and retrieved it from the sand in freezing conditions. The whale's bones are still in the museum's department of mammalogy.
Probably why not?
Mammalogy. Andrews took part in many expeditions in Alaska, Indonesia, China, Japan, and Korea, where he observed and collected marine mammal specimens. As Andrews' career progressed, his subjects of study expanded, and he continued to travel the world in search of animals and their remains.
Bone collector. I like.
So he's just finding random animals that are hopefully already dead, but probably not.
They had to stop them from taxidermying them live.
Yeah,
on
like
site.
a live tiger or whatever.
Dude, stop! It's better this way.
You can have the penis. for your penis.
Your penis collection.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like the fictional Indiana Jones, Andrews found himself with many brushes of near death as he traveled around the world.
Okay.
In a quote from his book On the Trail of Ancient Man, Andrews reflects on several of his nearly lethal experiences from his early career. Here's the quote. In my first 15 years of field work, I can remember just 10 times when I had really narrow escapes from death. 2 were from drowning in typhoons. 1 was when our boat was charged by a wounded whale. Once, my wife and I were nearly eaten by wild dogs.
Yikes.
Once, we were in great danger from fanatical priests.
What?
Where was that?
Hold on. Yeah, where were they?
I don't know.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
2 were close calls when I fell over cliffs. Once was nearly caught by a huge python. And 2, I might have been killed by bandits.
Okay. It's amazing to me that only 3 of the 10 were humans.
Yeah.
The wild dogs, seems like it's their fault.
Yeah.
The falling over the cliff, definitely his
your
fault
fault.
both times. So that's 3 right there.
Typhoon, also your fault.
It's coming.
Yeah.
You know
they,
it.
They know. It's not a tornado.
Okay, yeah. So 2 typhoons, that's his fault. So we've got 5 that are him right now.
He was wandering around Northern Ireland just as a pope, so that was kind of weird.
Mhm.
They didn't like
I
that.
don't
good.
think he was in Ireland.
Oh.
Again, he was mostly
Fanatical
he
priest.
was Asian-based.
All right, so it's probably like some other religion.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or he just called like some Muslims priests or something.
And they were like, what?
Yeah. Wait, what was the other one? Oh, I will say the one that's not his fault is the whale.
No, dude. You been hearing about these whales lately?
Yeah.
The orcas
Yeah.
just taking out boats.
Yeah.
Apparently, they all got together.
In San Diego or some shit recently?
Yeah, on the Pacific coast. There's like 30 of them just talking to each other.
It's Ramfest, dude.
There was an episode I'm going to do eventually on a whale who like plagued the Byzantine Empire for decades.
Just one?
Yeah,
Like the Moby Dick of the Byzantine.
literally.
That's amazing.
He just lived in the harbor and sunk ships at will.
That's awesome. I love that. You gotta, like, people are like, it's not funny. It's like, it's kind of funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's
yeah.
pretty funny that we build all these boats and we
Yeah.
still can't protect ourselves
Yeah.
from these
And
assholes.
we're like, this dumbass whale. It's like, no.
Oh, whale's
The
better.
orcas are starting a war.
They're tired of our shit.
I don't know that they're ready for it though, to be honest.
Yeah, they've never been nuked. Actually, they probably have once.
Yeah, someone was probably there when we dropped one in the Pacific, or the
Yeah.
French did, or something.
Who knows what allegiances they have? Like, what if they're working with Russia?
They're Saudis.
They could be Saudi whales, but they could also be Russian whales.
That could be Russian whales. They have a lot of coastline.
The Russians do employ belugas and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we do too. We have like dolphins and stuff. We have in the past used
Well,
dolphins.
yeah, we were doing that whole give dolphins acid thing, not just to learn their thoughts.
Plus that video game Echo.
Echo based on that whole story.
Yeah. I think we also trained dolphins to like detonate land or sea mines.
Yeah. Was that like a one-way trip for the dolphin?
It might have been.
Yeah.
We don't
They-
really get into details about that.
Yeah.
Our transgressions might have
Just
made it to the
blow up
orca
dolphin.
community.
Yeah. So that word got around.
Yeah, they're like, don't work with the U.S. They're assholes.
Right. It's kind of
Yeah.
like how like now, people are like what do you call it? People are just like they want reparations, or they're like white people are colonizers. The orcas are like, "Hey, you know what? I remember hearing about
I read this
These
Atlantic
dolphins."
article.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff got blown up.
Yeah.
Just grandpa. Fuck, dude.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is actually
Plus, a lot of us are still slaves.
yeah. This is our new Afghanistan.
The
The,
ocean.
the thing we did
Mhm.
back in the day that we thought was for the good and fighting Russia.
Now they're turning on us.
They're turning on us.
They watched that Blackfin movie,
Yeah.
That's not us. We didn't do that. Oh, Blackfin. Yeah, I was thinking of the
the
Cove.
SeaWorld movie.
Oh no. The Cove is not. They know.
Yeah.
So they're like, this is for Dillicum.
Yeah, honestly, we're probably their warm up for Japan.
We just like wake up one day and Japan's overrun. Like they've triggered a tsunami, and then Japan's now underwater, and orcas and dolphins are just swimming through, ripping the Japanese people left to shreds.
That is true. If there's one nation they have beef with,
More than any. No, we would be
Japan.
like the warm up match
They
for
also
them.
eat
Yeah.
shark fin soup, so the sharks are going to be there too.
Oh, sharks. They all just team up, swim through the Fukushima waters, radiate.
Yeah.
that is
big.
the true day of reckoning.
Yeah.
And then we're like, what do we do, Japan? And they're just like, you know what to do, like in Starship Troopers, but instead of shooting them, we just have to nuke them again.
Just do it again. Come on, we know you got them.
We nuke the ocean.
We have to nuke the ocean that's now covering Japan. They're like, do it! Do it! As they're dying.
This fall.
And then you just have the radioactive pigs on top of the whales' backs.
Yeah.
And they climb on top of each other because we know how that is. It's like the human ladder in World War Z.
Yeah. Japan's fucked.
Oh, boy.
They never stood a chance.
Andrews is best known for numerous expeditions he led in the Gobi Desert during the 1920s.
Oof.
These expeditions began with the desire to survey the Central Asian Plateau in its entirety,
Sounds like a lot.
collecting fossils, living animals, and rock and vegetation samples.
I feel like that's a good area for dinosaur bones.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think that's one of the, like, fucking sort of, just gold mines of whatever for dino bones is the Gobi Desert, that whole area. It's dry. Whatever. It's been relatively untouched. Like, it's like in the middle of a continental plate.
It's inhospitable. Yeah. Like it's just nothing's there.
Well, Henry Fairfield Osborne, director of the museum, put his full support behind Andrews as he hoped the explorer and his team might find evidence that supported his pet theory that Central Asia was the staging ground or place of origin of all of Earth's life.
Wrong. Deeply inaccurate.
Yeah.
But good for him.
That's what he hoped.
Yeah.
Instead,
Why? What?
There's
made
like,
him think
where's
that?
what's the water situation there?
I know.
Yeah.
Instead, he came across what you alluded to.
Dinos.
Dinos.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So Andrews embarked on his first expedition in the Gobi Desert in 1922. On this trip, Andrews and his colleague from the museum uncovered several complete skeletons of small dinosaurs, as well as portions of larger dinosaurs. These were the first dinosaurs ever to be discovered north of the Himalayan mountains in Asia. They also recovered preserved insects and other animal remains and secured the single largest collection of mammals to come from Central Asia, including several new species.
They got some.
Wait, like living mammals?
Mhm.
Okay. So dino bones and then living mammals.
Wow. They discovered new species. That's a pretty big get. Tell me more about these petrified insects they got. We doing a crossover here? Doing a little indie Jurassic?
Suppose Spielberg.
Not quite.
Damn.
That would be great. Like, if you just want to, like, fully just rape the IP of both.
I do.
Just indie
Do a
Jurassic Park
crossover,
crossover.
Yeah.
A prequel where Indy meets, like, a young John Hammond.
They just test run it.
Yeah.
It passes along the mosquito.
Yeah. Just absolutely, completely obliterate both.
No, you get like really old Harrison Ford at the end of the Jurassic when you're finally ending Jurassic Park. And
Well,
he's
Harrison,
Are they
canonically,
They're making
Indy,
another indie movie, right?
it came out.
It came out?
And canonically, Indy can live kind of like forever.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
God. He must be going through it.
because of the alien thing.
No, because he drank from the correct
Oh,
grail.
right. That's right.
Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. That gets wiped off because he leaves. He would only
Yes.
live forever if he stayed
he
in
stayed
the
there? Yeah.
temple, yeah.
Like the
Fudge.
guy sitting there.
Yeah. It was like, chose.
Gotta be
I
boring.
feel like
man.
every time I hear Harrison Ford has done a new movie, he like breaks his hip and they have to postpone production for 6 months.
Yeah, well, he always gets in like plane crashes and stuff like that.
He's just doing his own stunts.
Yeah. No,
Still.
he's a pilot. He loves flying planes, but he crashes them all the time.
That's the thing about
But, like,
being a pilot.
At least he's good at crashing the planes.
Yeah, he's no Roy Halladay. That's thank
Ooh,
God.
No, he's
Is he
not.
good at crashing them or bad at
Or
crashing?
Corey Lytle.
Yeah. You should never pitchers should not fly planes.
That should be like a hard and fast rule with any baseball contract.
Yeah.
It is
You
insane to
don't
me.
fly a plane anywhere. You don't drive a car in the Dominican Republic.
Dude. That's that second one. I'll get you. It gets him.
It's gotten multiple in the
Yeah.
last decade.
Pretty much any form of transportation, no boats as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna keep you in a hermetically sealed house.
Pretty much. Well, look, I don't think it's that unreasonable to be like, hey, really good baseball player, could you do us the favor of not doing a bunch of cocaine and driving your speedboat around the ocean near Miami at night?
It's not a good
I
plan.
don't know, man. I don't know.
This is fucking America. I didn't flee Cuba to not be free.
Yeah.
I'll do the cocaine.
What's the point of having the money?
Right. I like your cute little Coca-Cola that you're drinking.
Thanks. Got it from the fridge.
Like an 8-ouncer. I remember one time when we were shooting exec board, my brother said he would go to HEB to buy the beer that we were going to use for
Bought a
the
bunch
set
of
/
tiny
to
beers.
drink. And like for some reason that HEB in San Marcos sold a shit ton of 8-ounce Bud Light cases, but they look exactly the same.
They're just tiny.
But they're just like the cases look the same though. And he came back and was like, "You bought a bunch of 8-ouncers." And he's like, "Oh, so sorry." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've almost done that multiple times. I don't know why they sell them. I don't understand the point of them."
So there's just one exec board where we all look like giants.
It's the one the episode about the cheap beer.
Oh, right.
They're all carrying, yeah.
Yeah.
That they got from a
Applebee's.
an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Applebee's outbid them.
Yeah.
So Andrews wanted to dig deep beneath the surface, so he proposed and led several more expeditions into the desert. In 1923, he provided some of the most groundbreaking finds of Andrews' career. Arguably the most scientifically significant of these was the skull of a small mammal, no bigger than a rat, that had lived alongside the dinosaurs.
So somebody's uncle. Somebody's daddy.
Very few skulls of mammals from this time had been discovered before this one.
Isn't it crazy to think that we, like you, literally, like your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather at some point, like, is a rat?
Yeah.
The size of a rat, yeah.
Like, basically a rat. For all intents and
It's
purposes.
a little rat guy.
Yeah, like at some point, like, that's your relative.
They came out of the water, right? Like the tadpoles?
Yeah, I mean, well, you also have fish relatives and, like, little mollusk relatives.
Yeah, when you're thinking about, like, what would my ancestors say? They're like, holy shit, he's breathing air? Whoa.
Blop. Blop.
Yeah.
Actually, they'd feel deep shame to that. It's like breathing air? What a fucking freak.
It'd be funny if they were
Soft.
water supremacists, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even breathe in water?
There's just, like, one, like,
That ain't no ancestor
Little, like,
mine.
mammalian
Ain't
thing.
no family of mine.
Yeah.
What if they were just actually upset that they just were like racist the way an 18th century person was? Like they just held the same ideas of race as like someone from the 19th century, 18th century.
Yeah.
Like a mollusk is like, and you're like, what's wrong? And it's like, oh, we're hanging out with this Jewish guy.
Yeah.
You know what Judaism is? And they're like, it's an abomination. We're like, God damn. Guess that's the way it's supposed to be.
Jesus has a lot of play in the ocean. We called him Poseidon, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Same guy. I mean, they look kind of the same, right?
Yeah. One just has a trident, one has a cross. It's a little different.
What is a cross but a trident to hang someone from?
His calling card here is where they find a bunch of dinosaur eggs in 1923.
Eggs?
Eggs.
Ooh. Now, did he walk into a fire with them to see if they would hatch?
He did not,
Idiot.
because he would have burned.
He doesn't
He
know.
doesn't know that.
You don't know till you try.
That's how you learn.
It was really only water and gravity and people and animals that were trying to kill him. Fire never touched him, and I think that's curious.
This was big for the time, as scientists weren't actually sure how dinosaurs reproduced.
Idiots.
It was assumed that dinosaurs laid eggs since they were reptiles, but it had never been confirmed until Andrews' team found the eggs. A total of 25 eggs were retrieved during the expedition, and the team thought that the location of these probably indicated that the spot was a popular breeding ground.
Okay.
Upon further investigation of the first egg site, the skeleton of multiple small dinosaurs were discovered above the nest. So they were right. So they're just collecting bones, collecting eggs. This makes national, or I guess worldwide news, and it kind of pisses Andrews off because like he just becomes the egg guy.
Oh, he doesn't want to be that guy.
He doesn't want to be the egg
Like,
guy.
say the line, Andrews. I found eggs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Wow. Egg guy. Egg guy.
I was also bone guy. No one
Yeah.
cares. No one cares about the bones.
Andrews found that the public was so fascinated by the eggs that they didn't care about the other discoveries made on the expedition. So like finding our like longest ancestors, the mammals, everything, they didn't really care. They're like, yeah, eggs.
You know what, though? That's how it always goes in everything. For example, the amount of times I've done something, a video, an article, whatever, and I'm like, this part is the best part. But then every commenter, every person who talks to me about it is like, oh, that one part cracked me up. And I was like, that was the dumbest part of it.
We threw that line away.
Yeah,
almost.
that was I didn't think that was good at all. I almost cut it from the edit.
Yeah, that's true. We're also an egg species. We like them. Fabergé eggs, dinosaur eggs.
Yeah,
We're big
we
into
wish
eggs.
we wish we were born out of eggs.
We love them.
Yeah, what my wife would have done to crap out an egg 2 months into the pregnancy and just sit on it instead. Are you kidding me?
Watching Bravo, sitting on your egg.
Yeah. Oh, she would have preferred that.
So he needed more money to mount further expeditions, and while he found support from several rich backers, it wasn't enough, and they actually auctioned off one of the 25 eggs.
Someone has a dinosaur egg.
Not just someone.
Oh, God.
A university does.
Okay, that's sweet.
What university has the egg?
Okay, so Andrews collected $50,000 in public donations in addition to the winning bid of $5,000 for the egg, which was won by Mr. Austin Colgate and given to Colgate University as a gift.
Sweet.
You guys want to do a national treasure?
We're going to steal the egg?
Steal the
Let's-
dino egg.
Let's steal the egg. I want to steal an egg.
Is there
The
a
security
treasure
of
map on
Colgate
it?
can't be
It's not sophisticated.
too meaty.
No. So maybe
I'm
do some
sh- I
laser
don't even-
dancing.
Where is Colgate?
It's in the Northeast, maybe New Hampshire or something like that.
I don't know.
Look it up.
Look it up.
All
I'm gonna guess it's in New Hampshire, but
Listen,
I don't know.
Toothpaste University
that's
is
Dartmouth,
keeping
it's
that
in
egg
New
out of my
Hampshire.
hands, all right?
It's just in Hamilton, New York.
Oh, it's in New York.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
we
Dartmouth
got
is in
this.
New Hampshire. Then.
We got
Oh.
this.
Yeah, that's easy.
We're going to get this egg.
We're getting this egg.
Is Colgate Ivy League?
No.
No.
It just sounds Ivy League.
Yeah. All those Northeastern
Does it?
schools do.
It
Okay,
kind of
here's why it
sounds
sounds-
more DeVry than Ivy.
It sounds Ivy League to me. No, it's a nice school because I grew up in University City. All the schools are named after universities, and most of them are Ivy League.
Well, there's 8.
And then you throw in, and then there's like Colgate and Stanford are also in there.
Mm.
So I always confuse Colgate.
There's
Stanford, obviously, I know is
This
not.
is just a Colgate grad trying to
I
up
know,
their
trying
stock.
to shove it in. Well, another one is Purdue. I don't know how that got in there.
Come on. There's
Well-
just like a Chico State drive. It's like, what the fuck is that doing here?
They got a stranglehold on astronauts on the moon.
It's true.
Purdue does. They're the real space eel.
Not you guys.
We get them there. They finish the job. They cross the line.
They just fire the rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
In Under a Lucky Star, another book by Andrews, he recounts many
I hate these book names, by the way.
Yeah, it's a very bad book name.
many dangerous encounters the desert provided. In one instance, Andrews was on his way back from a supply run when he encountered some bandits. He was driving down a steep slope when he saw at the bottom 4 men with rifles on horseback.
I mean, Western China now is probably a pretty lawless place. I can't imagine then. Like, I don't even know if the Chinese government extends out that far.
No.
Considering that they were the Chinese Civil War went on for a while, and then the Western China's never really given a hot fuck about Western China.
China's kind of like Western Texas.
Yeah,
There's stuff out there, man. You don't know what it is.
Ye-
It's just there.
no one knows.
It's
Yeah.
also touching Mongolia, which is another lawless place at this time.
Yeah,
But knowing he couldn't turn around on the rocky slope, Andrews decided his best course of action was to hit the gas.
let's go.
Smart. Horses can't do that.
Yep, so he went full speed at the bandits on the horses. The horses went mad with fright. The bandits tried to reach for the rifles, but found that all their effort was needed to stay on their horses.
Couldn't do it. By the way, if he hit one of those horses, he's dead.
Oh, yeah. You're
In a
so
car
fucked.
from the 20s, yeah.
Yeah,
Going
wanna know-
downhill full speed.
You want to know what the worst part of car accidents were back then? And it was like really, really bad.
What's that?
The glass. Because back then the glass was glass.
Yeah, so you got
People
full
got
shards.
fucking mangled by shattered windshields back in the day. Like absolutely, like it's just like a tornado of glass just hitting you quickly. Like people got fucked up in car accidents.
You ever see the old pedestrian bag thing?
That
For
comes
if
out before you hit somebody.
yeah.
Just
It's like
scoops them up.
deploy the airbag for
But
the
still hit
people.
them.
Yeah. Well, now it's fun. You're denying them a ride if you don't.
Yeah, that's true.
The condition is you have to now drive them in that thing to their location.
To their destination, yeah.
It's like, all right.
It's
It's
just
just another chore you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he drove right at them. Bandits ran away. Took a couple shots. Didn't hit them, but he kind of survived the bandits on the horseback. Another
Smart.
incident in the desert had Andrews and his team nervous to sleep in their own camp at night.
Ooh.
More wild dogs.
The team had their camp set up on the high ground, and on one particularly cold night, a great number of incredibly poisonous pit vipers slithered up the slope seeking warmth, because heat rises, as we know.
It's a horde of pit vipers
But does heat rise on a hill?
like that.
That doesn't seem accurate at all.
Yeah,
Was it because they had a fire going and
it might have been the
them?
fire.
Because you don't get warmer the higher up you go
It gets cold.
on Earth.
Yeah.
Heat doesn't rise in that way.
Bam. Did we just prove science wrong?
We proved someone wrong. We proved this guy's story wrong, maybe.
Not his story, but I just said heat rises because it was a callback to last week.
What?
Gabby said heat rises
Oh.
with the attic lady.
Oh.
So the first to notice was Norman Lavelle, a motor engineer on his team, who saw one of the serpents crossing a patch of moonlight into his tent. Lavelle was about to get out of bed to kill the snake when he thought to look around before putting his bare feet on the ground. He noticed 2 snakes coiled around the post of his bed, and the original emerging from under a gasoline box near the head of his cot.
So his thing is just covered in snakes. Very Indiana Jones.
Yeah, this is classic indie.
Lavelle was not the only one to encounter vipers. Many others found snakes hiding in their shoes and caps among their rifles. Fortunately, the cold temperatures made the snakes sluggish and slow to strike. The men killed 47 snakes in their camp that night.
Good God.
I want to know what a slow snake sounds like.
I'm a snake.
I guess.
Do it. I'm going to do it.
I'll bite you.
Ugh, I hate Dude, I killed a scorpion the other day in my neighborhood, and even that, just like stepping on one of those with a shoe on, I'm just like,
It's bad when
Bugs are fine and easy to kill. Snakes, just, man, I got to get like a hatchet
Gotta
or
get
a
a
shovel.
shovel. Yeah.
shovel, yeah. And by the way, I
It's a
bet you
whole process.
the shovel's not going to work nearly as well as you think.
It's not going to cut it clean.
No.
You gotta get it a few times with
No.
a shovel, and then also, like, just stepping on a spider or something. You never know if it's gonna explode with 100 baby spiders either.
Yeah.
If it's a big one,
That's true.
that shit sucks.
Everyone came out of the incident unbitten and unscathed, but certainly much more worry.
I wouldn't be sleeping that night.
Nah, it's like we're gonna
kidding?
stay awake till sunlight.
Oh, my God. It'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Andrews even recalls how he was frightened and how he screamed when he, sometime later, stepped on something soft and round. To his embarrassment and fortune, it was only a coiled rope.
So
Doesn't matter. Would immediately be like,
isn't Indiana Jones like classically afraid of snakes?
Yep.
Though?
Yep.
Yeah.
that's canon.
They mentioned this here. The experience certainly made Andrews share Indiana Jones' dislike of snakes.
Yeah. Starting to sound familiar.
Andrews thought there was still much to be learned in the Gobi Desert, but political situations in Mongolia and China forced him to suspend expeditions after 1930. Andrews found that his team was severely restricted in the work they were allowed to and the data they could record, not to mention the drastically increased levels of physical danger they faced from bandits and others hostile towards outsiders.
What does a bandit do? It's like rob you and kill you?
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
lot of like grave robbers and tomb robbers back then.
A bandit's like, it's like, I feel like a robber or a highwayman, you know, they're like, they're almost like freelancers. They work alone type of thing. But a bandit, it's part of a group, you know?
Yeah.
Like a bandit's part of a gang.
It's like a marauding group of bandits.
Yeah. A bandit's a little more.
I was looking into doing Howard Carter, who found King Tut's tomb.
Hmm.
And
We still should.
we will at some point. But they got everything kind of like cleared out, all the sand and everything for 10 days. Found out a bunch of Americans were coming into town and just filled the entire thing with sand again. And like,
So that
we'll get back to it. We'll redo our work after they leave.
because they'd steal it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Looting antiquities probably was such a big problem.
It was such a big market back then.
Oh, yeah,
Not
totally.
even back then. Like, the reason there's nothing in most of tombs is because they've been looted for 2,000 years, 3,000, 4,000 years.
Kind of.
But
The
King,
20s is really when it popped off.
it's when it popped off again. But several times through history, people.
Well, we even discussed in the Egyptian catacombs or whatever that the generals, like the foremen, were going in and stealing shit every day.
When they were making them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They threatened to steal more. They're like, you know what? If you're not gonna pay us, fuck you. I'm just gonna take what's in the tomb.
Yeah.
You dick.
Which they probably did anyway.
Yeah, sure they did.
And then they wrote inscribed like curses on the walls.
Yeah.
Scare people off. I bet that probably did ward off a lot of
idiots
bandits back then.
Yeah. It's warded off some for sure.
For
Others,
thousands of
I'm
years.
sure, were like, idiot. What are you talking about? Take the gold. It's fine.
It's not cursed. It's just gold.
While this phase of Andrews' career was over, another was getting ready to begin. In 1934, Andrews became the director of the American Museum of Natural History and held this post until January 1st, 1942, when he decided to turn the museum over to a younger generation of scientists. After
Look at that.
retirement, Andrews and his wife moved to California. He spent much of his life writing about his many adventures and died of a heart attack in 1960.
So in his 80s, he died in his 80s.
It's
Mhm.
good.
Good life.
Yeah.
It is widely believed that Andrews was the inspiration for Dr. Henry Jones Jr. While George Lucas never cited Andrews or anyone else as a specific real-life model for Jones' character, it is known that he took a lot of his inspiration from the series or a movie series in the 40s and 50s that he had seen and enjoyed as a child that were based on our boy.
What was do you know what the movie series is called?
I did not look that up.
I mean,
That's
there was
okay.
a bunch of pulpy stuff
Yeah,
like that, though,
yeah.
like I said. Like, it really was. Like, the adventurer in the tomb of the pharaohs. Yeah, like, always.
We need more of that.
Agreed. There needs to be more, like, National Treasure type shit. And not
Yeah.
that stupid show they made. It needs to be Nicolas Cage. I think they
Yeah.
are making a third National Treasure.
Great. And it's not Steve Zahn. It's the guy from Hangover. Can't think of his name.
Justin something.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Zahn would be a good shoe-in, though.
Yeah,
We
what? Yeah,
need him.
same diff.
Yeah.
Justin Bartha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a bunch of stuff like that where it was just like in the temple of the Mayans and like this adventure, and it's always just some literally Indiana Jones is almost like an amalgamation, like stereotype of that character.
Yeah, it's vines, quicksand,
The fedora,
snakes,
the
yeah.
stubble. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, back then in the 30s, stubble was like
That's beatnik shit, dude.
it's like a rough person shit. You're clean shaven with a mustache, some shit like that.
Andrews even consistently wore a ranger hat and carried a whip on his expedition.
Oh, come on.
Oh man, this just reminded me of this Indiana Jones thing. So when I went to freshman year orientation at UF the summer before I started, there's a
You
kid
got trapped in a pit of alligators.
yeah, I had to swing my way out on vines. It was right there by the dorms. You've
Yeah.
been. But no, there's this kid who's in my group of kids, I guess, and he was wearing one of those hats. And like, you know, I was just like, this kid's a goober, whatever. He's a bigger guy, you know, like. And so we're going around talking about what major we want to do. And he's like, oh, I'm going to do archaeology. And everyone's like, oh, cool. He's like, I want to be like Indiana Jones. And he held his hat up, and everyone's like, holy shit.
This is orientation.
This is an 18-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
like, oh,
I have
no.
so much bad news for you.
It's like,
You're so much bad news.
It's like,
It's
man,
gonna be-
college, fresh start. You can be anyone you want to be.
Indiana
And
Jones.
Day one, you just kind of were like, no, I'm not getting laid all college.
Indiana
Never doing
Jones in the tomb of no pussy. That's just your dorm, buddy. Yeah.
It's what your dick gets buried in. Your pants is the tomb of no pussy.
The tomb of crusty gym socks. Have
Oh,
fun.
man. There was a minute, this is an embarrassing thing, where like my mom was taking me shopping for like clothes for college. You know what I mean? She took me to like Old Navy or something. And there was like a cool like army jacket like Charlie Kelly wears on It's Always Sunny. And I was just like, should I get that? Should I be like army jacket guy?
Should I be this
Just
guy?
steal valor, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not stealing valor. It's like a Vietnam era fucking.
It'd be amazing if you could steal
But
it.
that thought crossed my mind, and then I was like, don't do that.
It is
Don't do
weird
that.
when you just start doing anything at that age. It's like, am I this person now?
Right.
And it's like, nah, dude, you're buying a
is-
jacket.
Is this my identity
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
you're-
I'm this guy now.
It's like everything has to be tied to your identity, too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, decisions are hard, huh?
Dude, that was a lot of Greek life, though. It's like, I guess I'll wear boat shoes every day. And
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of always wore that shit.
Eh.
Just being on a lake. Sperry's.
Wearing a lot of Birkenstocks.
can't say I was wearing boat shoes in Philly.
Nah, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. Can't
No.
imagine.
No.
Mm.
Not good for running away in.
Or fighting.
No. Unless you're on a deck of a ship.
Yeah. If you find yourself on the deck of a ship,
yeah, you're great.
holding a cross that belongs in a museum, you want to be in boat shoes.
Yeah.
We're getting that dinosaur egg.
It's good.
We're coming. Colgate University, we're coming. You've been put on notice.
You'll smell us coming from our stinky boat
It would
shoes.
be. I kind of want to try to steal it just to see how hilariously easy it is to steal it. Also, whoever's Colgate's rival in like rowing should be stealing that egg every year.
That would be fun. It's like poor egg just falling apart because
Yeah.
it keeps getting touched.
Oh, actually, doesn't Colgate make the tournament a lot?
They make
I think
it.
they do.
They make it.
They're always like
I
a
just remember
14
the
seed.
COVID year they played like 4 teams over and over again. Like they played 4 teams
Yeah.
20 times.
But Colgate like
Sick.
routinely makes the NCAA tournament.
They're one of those teams.
I think they're part of the CAA.
I don't think it's routine, but either way,
I think,
like a
I think-
Drexel type.
yeah, they always make the tournament.
once every 10 years or something.
No, I think they make it regularly.
They're in it a lot.
It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
None of this
So
matters.
whoever their basketball rival is also steal that
Well,
fucking egg
no,
and
no,
play
just
basketball with it.
Help us steal the egg.
And we'll play basketball with it.
Yeah, we'll play basketball with you.
We'll do low hoops so we can dunk the egg.
You get one dunk.
Everyone gets to dunk the egg. Hopefully it's petrified.
It's not.
Who is today's Hitler?
Unfortunately, unlike in the real Indiana Jones, it's not Hitler.
It is not
Mhm.
Hitler. I
Currents swept his friend away.
Cold water.
that was actually the basis for Shorty.
What
his
about
friend.
what about his friend's overestimation of his swimming abilities?
Yeah.
His friend's arrogance?
I mean, I guess it would be
It's today's
bandits.
Hitler.
Yeah. Bandits.
A muscle cramp.
I will
Took him
go to, you know who today's Hitler is? Whoever said it was warmer on top of a hill.
Not the snakes.
No, the snakes were just, I guess, doing something that they thought.
There was a fire, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can sense warmth.
Yeah,
Right,
and
so
also
they
they
probably-
probably know the tent is warm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why they're up there. Whoever came up with that.
That's
Was it
Dan.
you?
It was Dan.
Are you today's Hitler?
All I said was heat rises, which is a common phrase.
It's true.
But it rises and then cools. Air rises. Warm air rises.
Stop saying warm.
Warm air rises.
You just want to say that over and over again. We get it.
You need to warm up to how I say warm.
How do you say bagel?
Bagel.
Okay, close.
You learn anything today?
Bagel.
No.
I wanted, you know what I wanted to learn is what the utility of the whip was.
There was none.
Like, really.
With bandits.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, cool. They can fucking jog out of whip range and shoot you. Whip range is short.
It's not long.
Gun range longer than
It's
whip range.
just by a smidge, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd ever go in there and be like, all right, this is my find? If someone's contesting it, you just whip an egg.
Now
Like, I'll
that,
do-
yeah, you just whip their hand off the egg,
Nah,
and then they're like, ah,
my egg.
my egg. I'm the egg guy.
I hate being the egg guy, but I'm at least that guy.
That's kind of what
Actually-
I learned today was you got to accept what makes you pop off.
You don't, yeah, that actually is a good lesson. You don't really control,
Your narrative.
yeah, or what you'll be known for. So
No.
everyone ever who's like, this should be known for this, or I should be known for that, fuck off. Other people will, especially if you put yourself out there to be known by other people, and then you get mad at other people for putting yourself out there, and then they decide what you're known for, and you're like,
That's the thing.
fuck off.
That's the thing when like public figures, like especially politicians, are like, well, it's not fair that I'm under this. You did it yourself.
yeah,
man.
or celebrities too. Doesn't matter who you are.
yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't want to be known as this anymore, or I shouldn't be known as this. I should be known as that.
Oh,
No.
especially when artists are like, that album, I don't even consider that my first album. That's like, don't even listen to
And
that. It's like, shut up, you made
When
it.
you have that mentality, that's how you rush Game of Thrones.
Kinda.
Yeah.
When you get overly important about
Like, I'm going to move on to the next project. Okay. What if the project's not there?
Yeah.
Because you fucked this project up so
we got a
bad?
Star Wars coming up. Fuck Game of Thrones. Fuck this thing everyone loves.
Yeah. This beloved national series.
How'd that go?
Yeah,
International
bad.
series.
It went
yeah.
bad. It went
They
bad.
didn't get the thing.
Anyone, I know we usually do this on the Patreon. Who's in the game today? Humanity?
The museum.
Yeah, the museum. They got a guy. They got the Goodwill Hunting of taxidermists, I
Yeah.
guess.
I will say that the child version of this guy is a little bit of a Hitler for
Killing animals left
teaching
and right?
himself how to taxidermy.
Yeah.
That's not. The world's really lucky that he somehow had a healthy hobby of killing animals.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone recalls, but there's another famous childhood taxidermist. Netflix recently did a show on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not known for that either.
No.
Yeah, just a quick blip in his history, but yeah.
Yeah. So he ends up going from Wisconsin to Asia. There were a lot of, again, I mentioned Howard Carter, who we'll do an episode on probably later. He discovered King Tut's tomb, and I was going to try to do the whole Curse of the Pharaoh and everything, but kind of seemed like bullshit.
Oh, you think?
Well, it is, but that's what you got to debunk it all.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
It's like they all died of coughing fits. It's like, well, yeah, they were sitting in a pit of cholera.
Like 6
Like,
of them
yeah.
died 20 years later.
Yeah.
Right. They found King Tut's tomb, and then in 1973, they died surrounded by their family.
Just like the prophecy said. That's going to be the curse on everything. You're going to die of old age.
The king boy got him.
Right. He gets everyone eventually.
That's how death works.
Still my favorite thing I think you've ever said on the show for curses is the gypsies just like, gayer.
It's just the concept that thinner is actually the funniest concept for anything. Because
Yeah.
it's like anything can be funny. Thinner is just like fatter.
Yeah.
Just get fatter.
That's just.
I mean, because flowers
like-
for Algernon.
No,
Actually, you know what'd be
dumber.
another good one that's like if you want to do like a G-rated, or you could actually make it R-rated, but the gypsies just like nicer. So you,
Yeah.
it's like just eventually.
I think the gayer thing works though for like corporate American Pride Month.
It does or doesn't.
It does.
Yeah,
It's like our logo. Gayer.
Raytheon. Gayer.
they did. There was a Lockheed Martin sign that like they really did that the other day because I
Oh.
saw it in the meme where it was
That's
like,
my favorite.
oh no, it's real.
The missiles are gay now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like it's just like a missile still bombing like Yemeni children, but it's got like BLM and then a pride flag on it.
Think
Yeah.
about
As
the
it's-
plane that dropped the nukes.
You know, like gay
Makes you
Just
think.
connecting dots.
makes you think. It's actually
Connecting
named
dots.
after his mom. His mom's name was Enola Gay.
Anyway, thanks for listening to this week's episode. We'll be back next week. Make sure to check out patreon.com/softcorehistory if you want 2 additional episodes every week. And we have an entire evergreen back catalog
Evergreen.
that
like,
is full of hours
there's
of
no-
content.
There's no talking about The Bachelor. There's no fucking like if you didn't listen to it that week, it's useless. It is all evergreen. It's all history.
That's right.
Softcorehistory.com for merch. Leave a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify, please, and thank you. Write one on Apple if you can. And yeah, for Jake Goldman and Rob Fox, I'm Dan Rochester, and you just got soft served.